The Federal Reserve's latest credit card data contains one number that makes most reward pitches look very different. For accounts actually being charged interest, the average rate's about 22%. Now compare that with the reward printed in giant letters on the envelope, 2% cash back. Spend $1,000 and the reward is $20. Carry that same $1,000 for roughly 1 month at 22% and the simple interest is already about $18 before fees and compounding. One ordinary month can erase almost the entire reward. So the useful comparison's not which card has the loudest bonus, it's which one is built for the job you need it to do. Behind all those product names are 9 main jobs a credit card can perform. Some can lower your total cost when their fees and borrowing terms match how you actually use them, some can help establish access to credit, and some only look valuable because the cost is printed smaller than the reward. One warning, these categories overlap. We are sorting cards by their main job, not the logo on the front. Type 1 is the plain, no annual fee card. No lounge, no metal, no complicated points chart. Its value is what it does not charge. If borrowing costs matter, compare the current APR and fees directly because even the cheaper card can still be expensive debt. But low interest does not mean cheap, and many card rates are variable. The verdict? Compare the annual fee first, then the borrowing rate if carrying a balance is realistic. A lower rate can matter more than rewards when debt is carried. For a full balance payer, the no fee part matters more. Type 2 is cashback. This is the cleanest rewards card because the math is visible. A flat rate card returns the same percentage on eligible purchases. A category card pays more at places like grocery stores or gas stations, sometimes with caps, rotating categories, or activation rules. It's for someone who pays the statement balance in full and buys the same things anyway. When a purchase grace period applies and the statement balance is paid by the due date, the rebate may be collected without purchase interest. Grace periods vary and may work differently for cash advances or transfers. The verdict? Cashback is usually the easiest rewards type to evaluate for someone who pays in full. Count only rewards from spending that was already going to happen. Type 3 is travel rewards. Travel cards turn one visible rebate into 5 moving parts: points, credits, protections, access, and an annual fee. They work only when the benefits actually used are worth more than the fee and redemption friction. A checked bag benefit that would otherwise be purchased, an eligible protection under the agreement, or a planned redemption can outweigh an annual fee, but value each benefit only at what you would otherwise pay. CFPB has documented complaints about rewards being devalued, restricted, delayed, or lost, and warns that revolvers often pay more in interest and fees than they receive in rewards. The verdict? Travel cards save money only when you pay in full and use the benefits. Otherwise, the annual fee can become a recurring cost for benefits you do not actually use. The next card is different. It does not reward spending, it tries to stop existing debt from getting more expensive. Type 4 is the balance transfer card, a temporary bridge for existing debt. The card may offer a low or zero promotional rate on an eligible balance for a fixed period, replacing expensive interest with a transfer fee and a deadline. Imagine moving $5,000 with a hypothetical 3% fee. The move costs $150 immediately. If the promotion lasts 15 months, paying the full $5,150 requires about $343 a month. That can be dramatically cheaper than leaving the balance at a high rate, but only if the payment fits your budget and the balance reaches zero before the promotion ends. The traps are the fee, the rate after the deadline, and borrowing again. The verdict? A balance transfer can produce a large interest reduction only when the fee, monthly payoff amount, and deadline all work. It's a debt tool, not a second spending card. Type 5 is the secured card. The word secured means the issuer generally holds a cash deposit that supports the credit line. This is for someone with a thin credit file, damaged credit, or difficulty qualifying for an unsecured card. The saving is indirect. A low-cost secured card that reports account activity can add payment history to a credit file. What happens to a score, later approvals, or future borrowing costs is not guaranteed. The deposit is your own money locked up, not a payment toward the balance. You still have to pay the bill. The trap is paying high fees for a card that does not report broadly or clearly explain deposit return. Type 6 is the student card. These are starter products marketed to students, often including applicants with limited credit history, but eligibility rules vary by issuer. The student label changes the marketing, not the cost equation. Compare the annual fee, APR, late fee terms, and eligibility exactly as on any starter card. Its potential value is access to a simple account, not a promise of cheaper credit. Type 7 is the store card. There are two versions. A closed-loop card works only with one retailer or group of retailers. A co-branded card runs on a payment network and can work elsewhere. These cards depend and target on loyal shoppers with an immediate discount or store-specific rewards. They can save money on a planned purchase that you can pay off immediately, but this category has some of the sharpest traps. High rates, rewards that pull you back into the same store, and deferred interest promotions. Deferred interest is not always the same as a true 0% offer. Under some terms, failing to pay the promotional balance in full by the deadline can trigger interest tied to the promotional period. The verdict? Test the discount against the full cost. If the purchase was not already planned or the promotional balance cannot be cleared before the stated deadline, the discount is not the number that matters. For everyday use, a general purpose card can be used across more merchants. Whether it costs less still depends on its fee and interest terms. Type 8 is the business card. Its first job is separating business spending and simplifying records. Rewards can reduce legitimate operating costs, but they're secondary. A business card can still leave the applicant personally liable under the agreement. Many financial consumer credit protections do not apply to business purpose credit in the same way, although specific protections and exceptions vary. The verdict? Judge a business card first as an operations and liability tool. The agreement should answer 3 questions. Who owes the balance, what protections apply, and what happens when a charge is disputed. Type 9 is the charge card or pay in full card. Traditionally, the statement is due in full. Modern versions may offer pay over time features, so the agreement matters more than the label. This type is for disciplined spenders who value specific premium services and want the payment structure to discourage revolving debt. The trap is a large annual fee and the temptation to activate borrowing features that defeat the whole reason for choosing it. So, which card actually saves you money? Use one equation. Total annual cost equals the annual fee plus expected interest and transaction fees minus rewards and benefits you would genuinely use. Then apply the behavior test. For a full balance payer, no fee cashback options are often the easiest place to begin a comparison because their value is usually the easiest to calculate. If you carry debt, a lower rate or disciplined balance transfer beats points. If you're building access, a low-cost secured or student card can do the job. If you travel, own a business, or shop one retailer heavily, the specialized card wins only when the benefit survives the fee and does not change your spending. The card is not the reward, your behavior is. The useful card is the one that makes total cost go down, not merely the one that makes a points balance go up. Before any application, compare the current fee, APR, grace period, and agreement. The front of the card sells the benefit. The fine print tells you the cost. This is the Income Mission. Subscribe for the next one.